Peace and blessings. Shalom Mishpachah. Yes, this is Yom Rohi'i. This is the fourth day, and we honor the Most High in this, His day, His time. Yes, this is day number 4. I'm Malki Uriel, and we're going to talk about it. Yes, we're going to talk about, the universal. The universal frequency, the universal energy of the Most High. We're going to be talking about it, and of course, as you know, we've been talking about the Most High, and we've been talking about the truth of the Tanakh in relationship to quantum physics. And it's been a wonderful journey, and we're learning more about ourselves and about ourselves and each other. And also, we're learning more about the Most High and about how the physical connects together with the spiritual. We're going to have a wonderful time in this discussion here on Yom Ravi'i. Be right back.
Malkia Uriel. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Yes, we are back. We are back, and peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And yes, what we want to do is, of course, we honor the Most High, as always. We thank Him for bringing us to this moment, this spot in our day. We're excited to be here with one another. We're excited to be in this moment of discovery, this moment of thinking outside the box, this moment of actually embracing the Tanakh for what it says, and not superimposing upon it our ideas or anything that we see in it, but looking at it for what it is and understanding it and embracing the truth that it gives us. And with that being the case, I want to say, first of all, now I know I mentioned to you that we're talking about the Tanakh, and also we're bringing in the relationship between quantum physics and the Tanakh, as well as our understanding of the nature of the Most High. We're bringing all of that together and giving you a thread to follow that will take you to the extremes of spirituality as well as the extremes of practicality in this natural realm of getting things done, living an everyday life, but also incorporating the spiritual with that and bringing them together in that focal point where what we do and what we say is just as spiritual as it is physical. And this is a powerful place to be. This is a powerful thing to exhibit, and it's a powerful life to live. I'm Malki Uriel, and we're going to begin talking about it. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stop by the chat room for just a minute. I know that we're going to have a light crowd tonight. Some have let me know, hey, got some things going on. And I want to say this. Listen, we are lifting up Josh, basically Josh's father, okay, Mr. Frank. We're lifting him up in prayer because he has some physical challenges right now. And we just lift him up before the Most High. I've been praying for them. I've been praying for Josh and Penny. I've been praying for this situation, and I pray that the Most High does intervene and that His will be done in even this. And so our hearts are turned towards Josh and Penny, and may the Most High be with you in this time of challenge. We will continue to pray for them, family, lift them up in prayer. Okay, that Josh's father is recovering, and that that the Most High will relieve him of the stresses and strains and the problems of this particular situation, and that he'll be able to live a longer life right here on earth and be a blessing to his family. We're going to get into the word of the Most High right after we tiptoe into the chat room. And again, I said that we were going to actually I know that we're going to have, by the way, peace and blessings to my sister. She was the one who turned the lights on. Yes, none other than my sister Jacqueline E. Bugs, as well as Christine Croning is also here. Peace and blessings to you, and thank you for the welcomes. My sister said welcome back. Christine Croning says welcome back. Thank you. It was a wonderful time, but I did miss you all, really did miss you. And hey, we're just going to go right ahead and we're going to go into the word of the Most High in this short little time that we're going to take. Now, of course, I'm inviting you to grab your Tanakhs and go with me to, once again, a familiar passage of Scripture. Now, this particular Scripture, which is the word of the Most High, it is found in the only place where is the word of the Most High. It is what the Christians call the Old Testament. It is in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. And so we notice the word of the Most High coming to us from Psalm 19. Psalms, the entire book of Psalm is divided into 5 divisions, and the book of, or I should say the 19th Psalm is in the first book. So it's in the first division of Psalm, and it reads, the heavens, Hashemayim, the heavens declare the glory of our Elohim, and the firmament above us is literally showing his handiwork. And day unto day it utters speech, and night unto night it shows knowledge. I'll read that again. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night shows knowledge. There is no speech nor language. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. I'll read that again. The King James has it translated, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out throughout all the earth, their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, Hashemesh, the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. And let me, so that you can see verse 6 and beyond. His going forth, that of Shemesh, that of the sun, his going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. Okay? And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. And notice what we begin in verse number 7. The law of Yah is perfect. It is converting the soul. The testimony of Yah is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of Yah are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yah is clean, or cleansing, and enduring forever. The judgments of Yah are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired than gold, yes, rather than fine gold, sweeter also than honey, and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned. You see that? Verse number 11. Moreover, by them is your servant warned, and in keeping of them is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth, now we've heard this so much in church, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yah, my strength and my Redeemer. Now we're going to address this because there's so much good in here. There's so many goodies in here, and we're going to go ahead and address this in relationship to our topic, the universal. We're talking about that level of energy that is universal, that vibration that is universal, that is the Most High, that is his frequency and his energy. We're talking about that and it being accessible to us, and realistically how to tune into that, how to tune into that divine vibration of the Most High, and so be caught up, if you will, in the presence of the Most High. How do you get there? How do you do that? And what is that all about? Well, let's begin here as we read. The heavens declare the glory of our Elohim. So now, when it speaks here of something being declared, normally when we think of something being declared, we think of something being spoken, we think of something being announced, we think of something being put out there that perhaps someone did not know. So it could flow into the revealing of mysteries, but it could also flow into just the revealing of truth itself, a truth that a person may know or a truth that a person may be wrestling with. But bottom line of it is, there is some sort of announcement, there's some sort of declaration that's being brought forth. But the Most High says from his word here that the heavens themselves are declaring, and they're declaring the glory of our Elohim. They are shouting and declaring and making known, making famous, okay, making it known to all, the glory of our Elohim. And in addition to that, the firmament is the actual site or object of demonstration of his handiwork. And I've always said that if what was written in the 1958 encyclopedia about there being a firmament that is 13,000 feet in length, in height, at its highest point, and that it actually covers the earth, and that it is actually an impenetrable surface, that definitely would give, that's a dead ringer, that yes, there must be an Elohim, there must be a God, and it is then undeniable. And I say that it is his handiworks. I say that it would definitely, beyond the shadow of a doubt, prove that there is a God. And so everyone who says that there isn't a God would have to then recant their foolishness and admit to there being a God, admit to there being one Elohim, a creator of heaven and earth. Well, look at verse number 2. Day unto day, what the Most High has set to declare and to show, it is declaring. And it is showing day unto day, it is uttering this speech, and night unto night, it shows its knowledge. Night unto night, it shows its knowledge. So now I want you to notice something here. I want you to notice that in verse number 1, it reads here, in the Hebrew Bible, it is verse number 2, in the versions of the King James and other quote-unquote Christian Bibles, it is verse number 1. The heavens declare the glory. The heavens declare the glory, right? And the firmament shows. So this is what you have here, okay? And I want you to notice what's happening here, because this is a pattern that we find many places in the Tanakh. Something is declared, and then something has to be shown. Okay? Something has to be declared, and then something has to be shown. I want you to think about it for a moment. Remember back in Exodus, the 3rd chapter, where Moshe was actually being commissioned by the Most High to go and to set Israel free from Egypt? The Most High gave him a message, and Moshe said, hey, they are not going to believe me. Believe you when? Believe you when you say. He said, they're not going to believe me when I tell them this. And he said, well, you know, since they're not going to believe me, the Most High said, well, look, I'm going to give you a sign to show them that if they don't believe you, you're going to do this sign so that they may be shown exactly what it is that is the truth. In other words, I'm going to back it up by what they see. I'm going to show them. You're going to tell them, and then we're going to show them, right? And so you look at this and you find this pattern throughout the Tanakh as well. Even in the realms of prophecy, it is declared, and then the Most High brings it to pass, and it is shown. You find this happening all throughout the Tanakh, where there is a declaration and then there's a showing forth. So this is a divine pattern, if you will, where something is spoken and then it is shown. Don't expect to see it until you've heard it first. You have to hear it first, and then you will see it. Okay? So the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament shows forth his handiwork, and day unto day they utter speech. Now, and night unto night they show. So once again, there is an utterance of speech, okay? And then there is a showing of knowledge. Again, you have that repeating over and over again, a declaration or an utterance, and then a showing, okay? Now, one verse of emphasis here is that in verse number 3, it says, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. If you look at some of the other translations, like for instance, let's go to the New Living Translation. Looking at verse number 4, notice it says, they speak without a sound or a word, their voice is never heard. Their voice is never heard. The King James Version says, there is no speech nor a language where their voice is not heard. So which one is accurate? Which one is the truth? Okay. Notice here in verse number 4, it reads, Ein Omer, there is no telling forth, and Ein Devarim, and there are no words, Beli, without, Nishama, without having heard their voice. So to give you this in English, it you know, to give you just like a really basic translation, there is no telling forth and there are no words without having heard their voice. Now, with that being a translation that we can easily see here, Ein, there is not, Omer, there is not a telling, and Ein, there is not Devarim, words. So there is not any telling, and there are no words without. Beli. Beli is without. Okay? Wearing out without negation. Okay, Beli, without. So there is no telling, there is no words without having heard. This is the Nephal, and it is, you know, we know what Shema means, right? Hear, right? So this is really saying that without having heard their voice. Okay? So this actually says that there is an utterance, but this actually gives us an understanding of causality. It is saying that there isn't any words or any speaking. There is no speaking forth, and there are no words without someone having heard their voice. In other words, everything that is actually being said in truth is coming from the influence of their voice. My. Isn't that interesting? So when it says here that we're talking about the hearing or having heard, this is the passive tense of hearing. So the way that you say the passive tense when it comes to something like hearing, like have heard, or she had heard, or he had heard, okay? Nishema, okay? We're talking about having heard their voice. Okay? Kulam, having heard their voice. So it says that there is not any speech, any going forth, nothing of truth that is not by means of influence of their voice. So any truth that comes forth is really coming forth by means of influence of hearing whatever this is that the Most High is speaking to us from the heavens and uttering unto us from the heavens. Okay? Again, some of the translations here are very clumsy when they say things like, you know, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Okay? When you look at the Hebrew here, the word where is not in here, okay? And it's not even implied. It's basically, as I said before, there is not any speaking, and aren't any words without having heard their voice. That is a more accurate translation than what we're reading in the King James Version and in the New Living Translation. It says, yet their message has gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world. Verse 3, they speak without a sound or a word. Their voice is never heard. This is not true. This has to be the farthest from the correct translation here in the New Living Translation. It has to be the farthest from what the Hebrew is saying. The Hebrew is saying, as I've already stated, okay, and let me go back there because I'm making a point. In the Hebrew, we read, and it's verse number 4 in the actual Hebrew of the Bible, it's saying that there is no telling, no telling forth, and there are no words without having heard their voice, which again signifies that every truth that comes, it is a reverberation, or it is a part of that vibration of truth that they are uttering day and night and night and day. My brothers and sisters, this is what I give you. This is what I want you to understand, that the creation of the Most High is actually vibrating on a divine frequency of truth. This is why nature has a way of calming. It has a way of healing. Do you not know that within nature itself, you can look at the forest and it is noted that the color of the leaves brings about healing to the cones and the rods in your eyes. The waves, as you sit by, just in nature, when you sit and you allow the waves of the sea to you just listen to them and you relax to them, it regulates your blood pressure. We can get in tune with the creation of the Most High like the prophets of old did. The prophets of old spent a lot of time in nature. They spent a lot of time with the Most High in nature. And what was happening in those moments, even though they may not have been cognizant of the fact, they were being re-regulated, if you will, to the frequency of nature, to the frequency of the Most High, and to the frequency of the truth that is being uttered, okay, not with words, but through the frequency and the vibration of that divine truth that is heard and that is understood and that is felt. Back, this had to have been back in I want to say, no, this was 2000 and either 13 or 14. I'll never forget, I had to go into a particular business, and as I went into this business, they kept, listen, any and every kind of microphone that you can imagine, they kept it. And the guy that was showing me around, because I had to look at a piece of equipment in that building, and the guy that was showing me around said, "Hey, I want you to hear something." And he turned on a machine that was playing a record, right? But there were no headphones, there weren't any speakers. What he did was he simply took this little pad-like thing that had a wire on it that was connected to the, the quote-unquote record player, and he held my arm and he touched the bone on my arm. He touched the bone on my arm, no speakers. He touched the bone on my arm with that little pad, and I could hear as if someone was talking to me. And he told me they used to use these kinds of microphones in times of war so that the enemy couldn't hear you. Did you catch what I said? He said they would use these kinds of microphones, okay, back in times of war so that the enemy couldn't hear you. So you could actually hear a full conversation coming from a long distance away just by means of the vibration touching the bone and it allowing that vibration to go into the ear, and you're able to hear as if someone is blasting a speaker in the room. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. But wait a minute. What the Most High is giving us in His Word, He is saying that there is a divine, if you will, energy that is putting out knowledge, and there is not, listen, there is nothing that can be said in truth. There's no words that can be said in truth. There's no speech or utterance that does not come under the influence of their voice, if it be in truth. And I say that for the sake of clarification, if it be in truth. And the Most High is saying here, basically, look, when something comes, of course, all that the Most High speaks is true, and His Word is truth. In fact, let me even do this. Let me give you a couple of scriptures. Because notice here, as we take a look, Dan today utters speech, right? Their voice is heard. Notice what it says. It says their line is gone out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. So the frequency, the divine frequency and the power of the Most High, and in what He's trying to reveal in knowledge and in truth, it literally, that vibration is there. It's there for you to tap into. It's gone all over the world. It goes all around the world. It's all over the place. Okay? In fact, it says it goes to the end of the world. And give me just a minute here. I'm going to clear my throat and get some more to drink, and I'll be right back, but we're going to keep talking about it.
Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I'm so delighted to meet you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you're curious, and I'm glad that you clicked on the video.
right, all right, all right. I am back with you. And yes, 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 here we go. We're going back in. And notice, if you will, notice how we're transitioning, my brothers and my sisters. We're transitioning, and we're actually going into a deeper part of this, because the Most High is talking about the fact that it is the heavens that declare, right? And the firmament shows. And then he talks about the sun, how the sun is in Hashemayim, and how it is a part of what's going on. But notice, if you will, notice how we transition. Notice in verse number 6, it reads, his going forth, talking about Hashemesh, the sun, his going forth is from the end of Shemayim, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. But then notice now in verse number 7, we see as if a corner has been turned. But notice it reads, the law of Yah is perfect. So wait a minute. So then, as we continue, and as what we're experiencing being unveiled before our eyes, is this secret system whereby the Most High shares knowledge and wisdom and revelation with us, and that there is an energy, if you will, there is truth, if you will, truth that is able to reveal knowledge. In fact, if you'll allow me to say it this way, an energy that is able to reveal knowledge, just as the gentleman took the pad of music that no one else could hear, and he touched my bone, and I could hear it as if someone were blasting speakers in the room. It was absolutely amazing. But that energy is yet existent, but it's not in a speaker pad. That energy is existent throughout the entire universe, and I'm going to show you, because this, at the end of this particular psalm, the Most High gives us an understanding of how to tap in and how to find that frequency and how to embrace that frequency, and so begin to know what you didn't study and hear what no one else is hearing in the moment, and actually harmonize with that divine energy that the Most High has for each and every one of us. Well, we notice here, it reads, and it begins to talk about the law of Yah. So the frequency of the law, if you will, is that divine energy that is coming to us and that is helping us, right, even through nature. But as I head down the home stretch, I want you to notice something here, because as we're talking about this, notice what it reads. The law of Yah is perfect. It is converting the soul. The testimony of Yah is sure. It makes wise those that are simple. Okay? And the statutes of Yah are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yah is cleansing and enduring forever. Okay? The judgments of Yah are true and righteous altogether. Verse number 10, more to be desired are they than fine gold, yea, than fine gold, sweeter than honey and the honeycomb. This also reminds you of Proverbs, the 8th chapter, talking about wisdom. But let's move on. No, verse number 11, moreover, by them thy servant is warned. Now, this is very interesting, because what the prophet psalmist is actually communicating here, he's saying that when I tap into your divine word that is harmonizing with that divine frequency, then I'm going to be able to receive knowledge. I'm going to be able to receive wisdom. And in fact, it's going to be transformative, because if you notice, above where we read in verse number 7, that says that the law of Yah is perfect, right? Meaning you don't need a New Testament to come and make it perfect. No, the law of Yah is already perfect, and it is converting unto the soul. It causes the conversion of the soul, okay? It brings wisdom to those who are stupid, and it also causes rejoicing of the heart, It is purifying and enlightening of the eyes, and it is cleansing and enduring forever. And the judgments of Yah are true and righteous altogether. So in this, the Most High lets us know that this is transformative. It's acting upon us, right? It is something that acts upon us and transforms us and changes us. Hallelujah. It changes us and transforms us, okay? And it's more to be desired. But notice in verse number 11, he says, guess what? By them, your servant, by them your servant is warned. Okay, wait a minute. By them your servant is warned. Okay, warnings can be like for something that is happening now, or a warning can be something that is, like look out for this, right? If you see someone behaving this way, look out for that, right? It's a warning. Like when you see someone acting that way, know that something is up. Well, yeah, there's that kind of warning as well. So then which one are we talking about? Are we talking about something like, oh, just watch out for that because, in the past, that's the way people were. And, if you see that happening, yeah, something's about to happen. Or is it like, oh, man, hey, I got to get up, and so I need something to warn me, or I need someone to warn me about what's happening right now, this second. Which one is it? Well, it is both of these. It is both something that is static and something that is progressive, something that is for the future as well as something that is for the past. This warning says that the Most High has built into this divine tapestry, he's built into this a system of warning, and in keeping them there is great reward. So it does something in transforming you, but also gives you the ability to be warned and to know when something is going to happen. In other words, it gives you spidey senses. Okay? It gives you heightened spidey senses or intuition. By them tapping into that frequency, we are warned. We become aware of what is around us. When we were, simple and believing everything everyone said, it made us wise. It converted our souls, our hearts. It opened up our eyes, so forth and so on. But notice as we continue here, and I'm going to just go right to the method and the path of being able to tap into that divine frequency, tap into the law of the Most High that is being reverberated through nature. I'll say it again, the law of the Most High that is being reverberated through nature. How do you get there? How do you embrace that? How do you find it? How do you hear it? Okay? What I'm about to show you is the equivalent. It's the equivalent of that gentleman taking that pad, putting it on my bone, and me being able to hear. What I'm about to share with you is that when it comes to the universal energy and frequency of the Most High and his law that he has energized and put out there in vibrational form, okay, it is that I'm going to show you right here, right now, as we look at verse number 14. Notice what it reads here. It says, let the words of my mouth. Now, please keep in mind, people say this as a benediction, but this was a prayer. The prophet King David was praying, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart, may they be acceptable in your sight. O Yah, my strength and my redeemer. All right. Notice what it says. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart, let it be acceptable in your sight. Now, I saw someone on YouTube. They were talking about, your words are important, and watch what you say, and you can have what you say. And listen, I've heard those teachings. I've heard that, right? I've heard it. There is some truth to that, okay? However, it goes far beyond you just pushing some words past your lips. What I'm going to say to you right now is very important, okay? It relates to Genesis 1 verses 1 all the way through in the first chapter involving creation, where it says that the Most High said, okay, and a certain thing came to pass. Some have argued all throughout time that, the Most High doesn't have a mouth, he can't talk, and so when it says that the Most High said, it really meant something else, okay? It meant either he thought it or he, whatever. And they make up all these excuses of why the Most High didn't say what the scriptures declare that the Most High did. When I say to you, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it because I don't know how to say it any other way. Many people are shooting blanks. When they open up their mouth and they speak, they are shooting blanks. What do you mean by that? Well, this is what I mean by that. Notice what is coupled together here. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart, may they be acceptable in your sight. Oh Yah, my strength and my redeemer. So the words of our mouth, okay, yes, the words come out of our mouth, and words are indeed containers of vibration. They are containers of energy. Consonants, okay, what we call a consonant is nothing more than the physical notation of a vibration, okay, like an M, an N, okay. Those are physical manifestations of vibrations, okay. And so consonants, which helps to make up words, they are containers of energy. They are containers of vibration, okay. But where does that energy come from? Where the energy that the words are the container of, where does that energy come from? Well, you're right. Ultimately, it comes from the Most High, but it comes through you. It comes through your heart. It comes through your own energy system within your heart. It comes from your own power system within your heart. Your heart fuels and sources the energy to pack inside the words that come out of your mouth. And for individuals who walk in power, and I'm talking divine power, they very carefully guard the words of their mouth, and they guard the meditation of their heart, because they understand the words of their mouth as well as the meditation of their heart is the cannon. It is the cannon that they fire in order to destroy things. It is the source and power that they use to unleash upon that quantum field that brings about definition and that brings about manifestation of what the Most High desires. It all comes from you releasing that energy that you gained in your heart. But wait a minute, how did you gain that energy? How do you gain that energy? Well, there's a word here that we really need to pay attention to, and it's the word meditation. The word meditation. The word meditation, it is powerful. The very act of meditation is powerful. It is something that is, it's a challenge for many because you have to go within, okay? Okay, I want you to think about something here for a second. What is meditation? What is meditation? Meditation is your ability to go within, okay, and to focus on a particular truth or reality. I'll say that again. Meditation is the ability to go within and focus on a truth or a given reality. When you entertain things in your heart, okay, they become empowered to exist in your reality. You empower them to exist in your reality. When you're emotional about them and you're feeling them and you're thinking about them, you are empowering them to live in your dimension, in your physical dimension. Well, being that as it is, the meditation of your heart is important to the Most High. Okay? What goes on in your heart is important to the Most High. Let me give you this real quick. Okay, I want you to see this. And I'm going to ask this rhetorical question. When did the Most High decide to pull the plug in Noah's day? I want you to see this. Verse 5, Genesis 6 and 5. And Elohim saw the wickedness of man, that it was great in the earth, and that what every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Okay? Humanity was mesmerized by evil. They continued to make the wrong choices. They were mesmerized by evil, and they went bonkers with it, okay? They went into it with all of their mind, all of their heart, right? And so they actually developed a kind of a spiritual engine, if you will, that would bring about wickedness and evil because it was in their heart. And once it's in your heart, okay, by means of you speaking, you release the power of that thing that's in your heart. It taps into that quantum field in this dimensional realm, and then it becomes a physical reality. This is why the Most High had to destroy everything, because the thoughts of the heart were only evil continually. And so everything was doomed. Everything was going to be destroyed. And so rather than for humanity to destroy everything, okay, and damn themselves further, the Most High said, look, I'm going to just go ahead and start over. Because y'all really messed up really bad. Okay, I gave you the ability to choose, and you chose poorly. Okay, you chose to destroy yourselves and destroy everything, like certain regimes are trying to do today. And he says, you know what? I've got to stop it. I've got to deal with it. And so the rest is quote unquote history. And so this is why it's important for us to understand what goes on in our heart. It is a power that is unleashed through our words, and it taps into that quantum reality, and then it becomes a physical reality after it's been touched by our consciousness and our intention in that quantum field. It is by means of meditation that you tap into whatever truth it is that the Most High has given unto you. Okay? You tap into that by means of meditation, and it becomes a spiritual reality to you through meditation. What you continue to focus on becomes a spiritual truth and a spiritual reality unto you. And then once you speak it out, then again, it taps into that quantum field of possibilities, and then it takes definition and form based upon what you have said that has already come out of your heart. Okay? It's not about you just saying words. No. The words have got to be packed with power. I'm Melky Uriel. We're going to be right back, and then we're going to open it up for questions. There are increasing numbers of Hebrew Israelites all over the world, from Asia to Africa, from Mexico to Germany. There are Hebrew Israelites that are coming together as a nation and as a family, and you are needed. You are needed to take your place as the educator of your families, your sons, your daughters. So we want you to enroll in Navi Beit University so that you can take your place in the kingdom. Now is the time to prepare to create Hebraically centered scholarly materials to educate others, to teach your family, to teach your sons, your daughters, to teach the young, to teach the old, and to bring them into the knowledge of the Most High. The Most High is gathering us together as He has promised. So enroll in Navi Beit University, connect with the administrator and the registrars, and enroll today for just $35 for a bachelor's per month, or $45 for a master's, or even enroll in the doctorate's program. You can get a degree with a Hebraic focus at Navi Beit University. Hebraic education, undergraduate, graduate, and specialty courses. All right, I am back. I am back. I am back. Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to tap into the chat room, and you know what? I can't, man, I kind of wanted to do something here. You know, the thought came into my mind, but I tell you what, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me just share this with you. In 1995, Steve Lynn Morris, called Stevie Wonder, known as Stevie Wonder to many, he did a song called Treat Myself. And I wish I could play it. I can't play it for you, otherwise I'll have an infraction on the YouTube channel, right? They get me for copyright. But in the song, he's talking about meditation. He's talking about the mind being able to interact with any kind of a landscape that you present before it by means of meditation, and the mind can do what you want it to do. And basically, this is something that I wish I could play for you, okay? Because meditation is something holy that the prophets did. Meditation is necessary. Meditation is something that everyone that was close to the Most High did. And so meditation is important. I'm not talking about any, strange off the wall kind of meditation. I'm talking about just simply taking what truth the Most High has given you and just allowing yourself to enter into that spiritual realm of meditation, because that's what it is, that spiritual realm of meditation, and allow it to just become real. Allow it to become bigger, allow it to become colorful, and just embrace the experience of what the Most High has told you. And you then will be meditating on what it is that the Most High has said, and then you will reap the power thereof. So I said we're going into the chat room, and we are going into the chat room. So let's go ahead and let me see what you all may be saying. Let's see. All right. Repent and save. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. Glad that you're here. Oh, Max Random is here. Max Random is here. Peace and blessings. Gilly is here. Yes, Gilly is here as well. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. All right. Real quick, let me do this. Let me open up. I've just opened up the call-in line. And so, yeah, for those of you that may want to call in, you are welcome to call in. The call-in line is open. And yes, it's time to ask your questions. Victory Uniquely Rebuilt 19 says, I'm so sad there is no like-minded people in my area. nothing. People are so close-minded. I have a calling and I don't know where to start. I know how that feels. I do. I know how that feels to have a calling and to want to express it, want to walk in it. And I want to say that while many of us have been there, yeah, Christine Croning, yes, the song is Treat Myself, yes. While I have been there, Victory, this is what I first had to do. I first had to walk out that level of righteousness and that level of truth that I wanted to teach others or show others. I had to walk it out first. I had to embody it. I had to be a living example of it. And it's then through that people began to see changes in me, and they began to notice, hey, how basically what's up with you? What's good? What do you, how are you doing what you do? And what are you doing? So long story short, there's going to be times where people misunderstand you or people don't get you, but you have to embody the truth that you're trying to show others first. And then out of that, I have found that the Most High will make a way for you to begin to touch others and help others and benefit others. It starts by you being real with it and by you really embodying it and living it. Because listen, I was talking about meditation, and I was talking about just speaking and not having anything backing it up, right? You're just talking, you're just blabbing. That, of course, that is wrong. But what is also wrong is for a leader or a teacher or someone that has a call upon their life to seek to teach or to do whatever it is that they're doing to fulfill their life call without living it first and demonstrating it first. Then your actions and your words would be hollow. You've got to live this thing. And you have to be a living demonstration of it. And then out of that, you're already putting yourself in a position to lead and to help others because you are embracing it fully and completely. In other words, you're living by example. So that has to be first, and that has to be foremost. It doesn't matter what people say in the meantime. People will always misunderstand you. People will reject you. All of that's par for the course. You focus on living and embracing what it is that the Most High has given you to do, and being that thing, okay, for real, right? And then out of that, the Most High will bless you to be able to touch the lives of others and begin to teach and show others. And yeah, that is what I have found to be the beginning. Okay. Okay, thank you. Repentant and Save says, well, what are some of the things that you meditate on? When I sense, and I mean when I sense by means of intuition that there's danger around, I meditate on Psalms 91, okay? And I not only just read it, I not only just, the important thing about meditation is that you enter into the, and I'm going to say this, it's going to sound funny when I say it, but it's important that you enter into the sensory experience of what you're meditating on. Okay? It's important for you to enter into the sensory experience of what you're meditating on. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? If you're able to enter into the sensory experience of what you're meditating on, in other words, you take the word of the Most High, in this particular case, Psalm 91, and you actually envision this as a reality. You envision it. And when it talks about those who abide under the shadow of the Almighty and those who hide in the secret place, seeing yourself in a secret place in the temple, right? And just embracing that experience and knowing that you are hidden in this pavilion called the Most High, and that nothing can break through to get to you, okay? Because you're hidden in the Most High. symbolized by this temple kind of a, this temple kind of imagination that you're embracing. Yeah, yeah. It takes on a different dimension. It takes on a reality, okay? And there's a part of your brain that does not know the difference between a physical reality and a mental reality or a psychological reality, okay? So when you're meditating on it, that part of your brain, that part of your mind, if you will, interprets it as it really being true and it really being a reality, it really happening, that you are truly in the secret place of the Most High. You truly abide under the shadow of the Almighty, and it will give you not just a sense of peace and a sense of like, oh, I'm safe and I'm comfortable, but it'll also bring about protection from things that you cannot see, things that you don't know are trying to bother you, right, or after you. I mean, I'm telling you, this works, right? As well as having a spirit of praise as you are seeing these things and embracing these things on this psychological level. Yeah, it is then important for you to give the Most High praise. And this, again, separates you from those that would spiritually want to do you harm. So that's an example of what I would meditate on, okay? We could talk more and more about this, but anything that the Most High has spoken to you about in His Word and revealed it to be a reality for you, yes, you are able to meditate upon that. Enter into the experience of that, okay? And let me show you, if you don't mind, real quick. Let me show you just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and lock this down if there aren't any more questions. The Most High asked Jeremiah. He says, "Hey, I need to train you to be my prophet. I need to train you. I need to give you an understanding of how I operate." Okay. And so notice what we see here in Jeremiah. In Jeremiah chapter 1. Notice what it reads in verse number 11. "Moreover, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Yirmiyahu, what do you see? And I said, right now, I'm seeing on the canvas of my imagination, which is being divinely inspired by you in this moment, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said Yah unto me, you have seen well. For I will hasten my word." What? "I will hasten my word that comes to you as a vision in what you are seeing. I will hasten my word to perform." In other words, I'm going to perform the word, which is also the vision of the thing that you just saw. So in your meditation, when you meditate upon what Yah has said to you and what Yah has impressed upon your heart, you are meditating upon the word that the Most High has given you. And notice what he says, "I will hasten to perform it." Okay? Look at verse number 13. "And the word of Yah came unto me the second time, saying," what do you see? Once again, what do you see in your meditation? What do you see spiritually? What are you seeing psycho-spiritually right now? And he said, "Hey, this is what I'm seeing." He tells him what it is. And then, of course, this is another word of the Most High. But notice, this is how the Most High is moving. He's moving, okay, in this holy area of the sanctified imagination, the sanctified and activated imagination. And this is how he moved upon the prophets. And this is how he also moves with us. Okay? So when you meditate upon what the Most High has given you, or even what He's shown you, perhaps in a dream, yeah, you meditate upon that, and you allow the word of the Most High to be seen, to be experienced, to be spoken, right, and to be realized by you. All right. Well, all right, my brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you to those of you that have stopped and listened. Thank you to those that have stayed to learn. Thank you to those who can see what I'm saying out of all this, and those of you who are able to embrace this truth. We are on a journey. We are on a journey into a deep realm of spirituality that is found in the Tanakh itself, where we are able to embrace the power and the truth of the Most High and walk on this spiritual plane and do what it is that He desires, and that we might live a life that is completely pleasing to Him in every way. I'm Melchior Uriel. I pray that you be well. I thank you. I remind you that Israel is no longer cursed. We are the blessed of the Most High. And I want to say to each and every one of you that I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I am so thankful that we are family. I love you. I embrace you. For those of you that are watching, perhaps for the first time, subscribe to this channel. We teach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth from the Tanakh. Yes, we are Yah only for reasons that we could share with you, but mostly from what the Most High has said in His Word. And we also stand upon His Word. But not only that, we take it into our hearts and we allow it to be a spiritual source and foundation of truth and strength for us. We want you to subscribe. We want you to share the videos. We want you to give us thumbs up. We want you to help us in this our endeavor. And we will, Yah willing, we will see you for Shabbat morning coffee. I'm Melchior Uriel, and I want to say thank you. May the Most High bless you. May He keep you. Shalom.